All right, in this one, I'm gonna look at a few sources which speak to the topic of being precise in reading Hebrew words and pronouncing the letters of the words while studying, doing Torah study, reading the Torah, and in tefillah, or you could say having a good Dikduk in your tefillah or in your Torah study. This could be an issue for those, and I've spoken to all different types of Jews who report difficulty in learning Hebrew and not feeling proficient in the Siddur, and so being in the synagogue can be a bit uncomfortable or like a challenge, and resort to praying in English, or just don't go. I mean, people don't go to synagogue for many reasons, not just not being comfortable in the Siddur, but that's another topic which I probably won't address. Um, but in any case, there is a halakha in regard to who you can allow. There's many halakhot and who you can allow to be shaliach sibur. One of them is the following. In the laws of tefillah in the Mishneh Torah, chapter 8, halakha 12, it states, an inarticulate person, I need to work on my own English, who pronounces the aleph as an ayin or the ayin as an aleph, and anyone who fails to pronounce the letters correctly should not be appointed as shaliach sibur, that is the leader of the tefillah. So where does Rambam get this from? He pulls it from the Gemara, the Talmud. In the Talmud Bavli, there's a few sources, but I'm just going to quote one. And in Megillah 24 side B, it states, one may not allow the people of Bet Sha'an, nor the people of Bet Haifa, nor the people of Tivonin to pass before the ark in order to lead the service, because they pronounce aleph as ayin and ayin as aleph. I'll give you a couple of examples of where mispronouncing the letter or spelling it wrong, for example, mixing up aleph and ayin could change the meaning of a word. One is in Bamidbar chapter 11, where it states there, Moshe prayed El Adonai. So if you took that aleph and the word El and put it as an ayin, you would have he prayed against Adonai. But because it's an aleph, it's prayed to Adonai. Another example is take the word, or the name rather, Ovadia. I like the Arabic equivalent, Abdullah, servant of the Creator. So take Ovadia, servant of the Creator, servant of Yah, Ovadia, and you took that ayin, the ayin, and replaced it with an aleph, you would essentially have a word that looks like destroyer of Yah, or destroyer of the Creator. Aleph, Bet, Dalet being the root, meaning to destroy. So getting those letters right can be important in conveying the meaning of what you're trying to say. The Gemara continues a discussion in Eruvin, 53 side A, relating to study and comprehension. And when you study and pray, when you're praying, when you're studying, there's two different modes. But while you're learning your Tanakh, it's helpful if you're trying to be shaliach sibur, because you've gotten the practice that you need when you're learning, and you can carry it over into prayer. And so it goes on to say, it cites that which Rav Yehuda said, that Rav said, with regard to the people of Judea who were particular in their speech and always made certain that it was both precise and refined, their Torah knowledge endured for them. With regard to the people of the Galilee who were not particular in their speech, their Torah knowledge did not endure for them. Excuse me. So it's an interesting sugya. One could probably challenge that, considering there were sages in the Galilee. This is where the Talmud Yerushalmi comes from. Contrary to what we call it, Talmud Yerushalmi, the sages there were actually in the Galilee. But then maybe one could say it didn't endure because there's no unbroken tradition of studying Talmud Yerushalmi. However, we still have it and we can access it. In any case, the point is there's this emphasis on being precise in the learning in regard to speech, and making sure that they were precise and refined. So this is the concept. This is the halakha, the foundation. This is the starting point, or first principle, if you will. Being precise. However, what if you just can't get there? What if you haven't been able to acquire the language, can't pronounce the letters? Sometimes people struggle getting their mouth around certain letters. what do? Do you not pray in Hebrew? Do you just pray in English? Well, that's perfectly fine option, and according to Halakha. But there's a source that I'm going to quote in the Midrash. It's called a Midrash Shir Ha-Shirim. It's not certain when exactly this was written, but the prevailing theory is it was towards the end of the 8th century. And it's also the prevailing theory that these midrashim were brought by sages or students of sages who come from the Talmud Yerushalmi tradition. In any case, here's the source, and it pushes back on this idea of the need to be just super precise, and basically says if a person prays, that's good enough, even if they're not so particular. So here's the source. Rav Aha said, if an ignoramus, that's, I think, a terrible translation of Am Ha'aretz, but we'll go with it because that's the traditional understanding. If an ignoramus reads the word hate instead of love, this is in the pasuk for Parashat Shema, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, you shall love Adonai, your Elohim. But what if they mispronounce it and say Ve'ayavta, meaning you shall hate? Just by changing the hey to a yod, you change the word from love to hate. If an ignorant person reads you shall hate instead of you shall love, the Creator says his mistake, dilugo, is beloved to me. Rabbi Yisachar said if a child read Moshe as Mushe, Aharon as Aharun, Ephron as Ephran, the Creator says his babbling, liglugo, is beloved to me. Rabbi Hunya said formerly if a man pointed to the king's likeness with his finger, he was punished. He was punished for doing so, but now a man can place his name ever so many times on the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in the scroll that is, without being harmed. The Creator even says his thumb, gudlo, is beloved to me. The rabbis say even if a child skips the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu many times, he comes to no harm. What is more, the Creator declares, and his omission, dilugo, is beloved to me. It's a beautiful midrash. And on one hand, the writer, whoever wrote this midrash, is trying to convey the meaning that, look, you make mistakes, it's okay. And I think this is good encouragement. If a person hasn't made their way to precision, to being, super proficient in being precise in Dikduk, it's okay. They're trying to pray, it's good. But interestingly enough, I think this midrash actually upholds the principle of being precise, because whoever wrote this midrash is familiar with the Hebrew language to such a degree that they bring us all these interesting word plays. So his mistake, dilugo, his babbling, liglugo, his thumb, gudlo, his omission, dilugo. So it's pretty interesting that the writer of the midrash had that much thought to input or insert into this midrash, which is saying if you're not perfect with this, it's okay, while also teaching the person who's learning the midrash, look at the precision in the language of this writer. So the way I read it and understand these sources is to say it's okay if you're not proficient. Pray in whatever language you want. Even if you never get it, it's fine. The Creator sees it as a blessing. But the ultimate goal, if possible, is to learn to be precise. If you're trying to learn how to recite Torah, Tanakh, with precision. So those are the sources. Thank you for listening.